Weekend Fun Seeker. This time, the special artist. The beauty of power and balance, and the Chinese face-changing performance amaze everyone. More than 100 shows, and every one is a classic like no other. Ninth Circo Massimo, tonight at 9.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Newsline. With me is the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Mr. Cheung. Thank you again for being on this show. It's very rare that we actually have a police official of that ranking coming to the show. And Zhang Dekyung, you are the person in charge of operation, as I have said. You were heavily involved in this Occupy protest. So I want to ask you this now. Many people have been arrested during this Occupy period, and thousands, I think, were involved in it. I think almost 1,000 were arrested, close to 1,000. 75, I think, surrendered themselves. But thousands, tens of thousands took part. Your police commissioner, Mr. Andy Zhang, said that they will take 3 months to investigate and then move forward from there, right? I want to ask you this, Mr. Zhang Dekyung. How many people will you arrest? Who will you target? You cannot arrest thousands of people. How do you decide who to charge, who to arrest, and who to bring to justice? How do you decide?
Actually, we arrested about close to 1,000 people at this stage. We cannot rule out possibility for further arrests. In fact, we are still investigating. So in these 3 months, as the Commissioner has said, we will do our best to expedite the inquiries. We will study carefully about the role they played in this illegal occupation period. For those who actually are instigators, main role to play, possibly we will consolidate our investigation as soon as we can. We can bring the file to the Department of Justice for advice. So the focus will be on those who play a more significant role in this illegal occupation period.
What about the thousands who camped out in Admiralty, in Mongkok? There are thousands of them,
of course.
And they were illegally occupying streets for 2.5 months.
Of course.
You know who they are because you've seen their faces. They've been there every day. Are you going to charge them also?
We'll investigate first.
But then you talk about thousands of people.
That's why we have to mobilize our resources to concentrate on the investigation. Each case could be different because you have just mentioned in the 2.5 months period in different locations.
There have been
even
thousands
Hong Kong
of
Island.
them, right?
So we have to study the case. We have to collect the evidence for each and every one of them to determine the actual the evidence we are now in hand. So we'll bring the file to the DOJ for advice. So we will investigate each and every case. One thing is true that if they have broken the law, no matter 1,000 or could be more, we'll mobilize the resources and to bring them to justice.
But you talk about thousands. Is it wise to charge thousands of people, Mr. Cheung?
We will investigate, we will examine the evidence, and we will bring the file to the Department of Justice for decision. So each case will be considered on its own merits and take time for us to go to the details of the case.
Well, some people who've been arrested have said that by arresting them and saying that they had organized and incited these protests, that by arresting each and every, you say you know them, if they've broken the law, you will take action. You talk about thousands of people. They say that is white terror. Is it white terror? Political persecution?
We only work in accordance with the law of Hong Kong. If they have broken the law, then if there's a commission of the offense, we have to bring them to justice. This is what the police should do in these circumstances.
So you don't mind if thousands of people are brought to court?
If they are actually committed a crimes, we got sufficient evidence, and then if the file actually ends up with the Department of Justice, if the advice is that we have to go for prosecution, we go for prosecution.
But then if you do go for prosecution, I think a lot of people are saying that would be a politically unwise thing. The courts cannot handle it. And then you should just target the instigators and perhaps show leniency to the others. Do you agree with this viewpoint?
I think, but the point is that whether they have committed an offense. As far as police is concerned, if the people has broken the law, then we have to follow up. We have to investigate. We have to consider the prosecution if the evidence is there. We do not have any other, as you mentioned, like political consideration. We don't have such thing. One thing is true that for this operation is quite unprecedented to us.
Well, it's never happened before in Hong Kong.
So it's quite different.
Okay, now tell me this. The recent surveys have shown that police, the popularity, approval rating of the police have dropped. It hadn't dropped a lot, but it has dropped. It's around 60-something percent, 60-something points out of 100 points. Does that concern you? I mean, if there is a lack of trust between the police and the people, does that concern you?
Firstly, we are receptive and open-minded to opinions. In fact, from time to time, we actually engage some institution to do a survey for us so that we can improve our service. You know, we always do that. So every time when there is any survey by any institution, of course, we will actually listen to what they have said about us so that we can improve. We are open-minded on that aspect. Second thing about the trust of the community toward police, I would say that the majority of Hong Kong people do support the police, majority. There might be some people who are not so satisfied with how we handled this illegal occupation incident. We know that. But we believe the majority of those of Hong Kong people are supporting us. This is the area, which is just, they show their support in many ways. I raise one example. I received the letters from all 18 district councils, chairperson.
They said they supported you.
And also 18 district fight crime committee chairpersons. They're supporting us. So we really appreciate what they have done to us. But of course, we need to improve in many areas in a big operation like this. So we have to conduct our internal assessment, internal review. If any areas needing further improvement, we're most happy to do it.
Tell me this, Zhang Sir, you're the Assistant Police Commissioner in charge of operations. When I walk in the streets and during the protest, the firing of the tear gas, I went out to the streets to look at the faces of the police officers. I took some of their pictures. A lot of them looked sad, shocked. They were in disbelief. They looked very tired. What is their morale like? What is the morale of the police force today? Is it high, low? Did they feel they have done something wrong? Or did they feel they have done their duty?
This is a difficult operation for us. When I say this is unprecedented, what I'm meaning is the difficulty and the complexity of this is very unprecedented. So police officers need to work extremely long hours.
Right.
Sometimes they have to work at least, say, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, especially in the initial phase of the operation. So the working conditions, that sometimes they face the heavy confrontation, heavy conflict.
People use swear words against them.
Sometimes like that. They provoke some people. They provoke police officers. They were abusive in their words, etc. But I would say after these 2.5 months operation, police officers become more united.
They have become more united.
Become more united because we have several thousand of officers. They work every day towards one common purpose, that is to restore the law and order in Hong Kong. They feel very proud to be part of the operations. For these few thousand officers, they work, as I say, day and night for one common goal. Even for those officers who might not be drawn for this operation, even at the district, at the division, they have done their best. They have done their best to patrol in the street, to maintain law and order, to reduce crimes. So I say after the incident, 2.5 months, the police officers, the police force is a very good spirit, very united. So we are happy that we are part of this to restore the law and order in Hong Kong on this occasion.
So last question, we talked about the trust between the people and the police. If there is no trust, or if trust is disappearing, it's difficult for the people and for the police. How can you repair this trust? I know that when you had a police recruitment, many people did want to join the police, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, are you thinking of ways to go out and talk to the people and repair the trust? Police officers going to the streets, being nicer to the people and repair your image. Are you thinking of these things?
At the two levels we are talking about. First is the strategic headquarters level. We got our strategic direction, that is to engage the community firstly. At the local level, we will engage the district commander and each district, police district, at which they can actually explain our policy, actually explain why or how we did this. So we will enhance our communication with the community leaders. Down to the front line, our frontline officers will continue to serve with pride and care. We aim to communicate more with the people with whom we interact. I'll raise one example. Many occasions, police officers need to handle incidents in the street or at home, sometime when there is some incident. We always support our officers in their work. We give them training. We hope they can be more listening, more empathetic in dealing with the people. So I think that this is the work that we have been doing for some time, not just because of this illegal occupation. We hope that we can secure more understanding with the public so that they can support our work. Because without the trust, without the support, we cannot make Hong Kong a safe city. So we must rely on their support.
Police force has made Hong Kong a pretty good safe city until this trust broke down. Do you think that you have been unfairly treated by some of the people in the public that says, you are no longer a trustworthy police force? Is that an unfair comment?
Some people, especially after this illegal occupation incident, some people, they may not be satisfied with how we handle this. But at the same time, we do receive a lot of compliments from different sectors of the community. Even among police officers, right? We actually felt that we have achieved something for the Hong Kong. We restored the public order, we reopened the roads,
sure.
We removed the blockades, something we should do as a police officer.
And you've done it.
We've done it. We should do it.
I know. Well, time's run out. I want to thank you, Mr. Cheung Keung. Cheung Keung, the Assistant Police Commissioner in charge of operations. And Happy New Year to you all. See you next week. Good evening. Thank you again.
Thanks.
Coming up, Travel Checkpoint, Life's a Beach.
ATV 2015
融入社会，融入你我新生活。
New life, new journey.